Yes, again, I'm Natalie Haven. I am a school counselor here at Spanish. I have ninth graders, last names L through Z. We have a couple of our other counselors here, and you'll notice I'm slowly admitting people here, so you might hear some dings in the background. We've got Dr. Keller here, our college and career coach, Lisa Solid, who does, I believe, A through D, maybe. We have our academy coordinator, Miss Eileen here. We have Miss Richards. She is our ninth grade counselor for A to K. We have Miss Wooden, and she does last names, I think, like Q to Z or something. And we have, I think, Miss Abramowitz, and she is our ELL school counselor. And I believe I said Dr. Keller. He's our college and career coach. You'll hear Miss Wooden presenting today and Dr. Keller. A couple things before we get started. I want to make sure everybody's muted. I think you already are, but just a reminder to stay muted. If you have any questions, Dr. Keller, our college and career coach, he's going to be monitoring the chat bar. You'll notice some other school counselors potentially monitoring that chat bar and answering your questions as they come up. Any questions, feel free to put them in there. We'll answer as we go, but also at the end of the presentation, which isn't very long, we'll be able to address more questions and potentially unmute yourself. So our topic today is community service and information on SAT and ACT. First up, presenting for us is the wonderful Miss Tia Wooden. We'll get her started.
Okay, so community service. Most of us know that there are at least 20 hours of community service that are required for graduation. They must be done at a nonprofit organization. So most of the time that will exclude like doctor's offices and things like that. So you want to make sure that the hours are at a nonprofit. Most students tend to do them at shelters, animal humane societies, different places like that. Opportunities are available on our school website, and there's a link there because I believe this will be posted. And the official community service form is located on our website as well because the hours must be logged on this form in order to receive the credit for them. Also, all hours, as in the 20 hours, must be turned in by December 1st of the junior year. Okay, so here are just some more community service opportunities. Lots of students tend to do them at Boca Helping Hands, which is the last bullet there. That's a very popular place. But here you can see there's tons of different opportunities to do community service and just to get those hours in. So feel free to visit those links when this is posted, and you'll be able to see what opportunities would best fit for your student. So due to COVID-19, the district has allowed students to get service hours for tutoring and taking care of younger siblings. So that's an option as well. And the parent can sign off for that. So just tutoring and just general caretaking, those count for community service hours due to COVID. Also, a service opportunity that you might already do and that you didn't really realize it was service was fostering an animal. So if you're fostering a dog or a cat or a pet from Peggy Adams or Big Dog Ranch or something like that, you can earn up to 4 hours per day for fostering the pet. And a new opportunity this year, Mrs. Siegel, who is our media specialist, she has opened an opportunity called We Be Bookin'. And basically, it's like a book club where students can pick what book they'd like to read. And the book could be either physical, and they're all available online as well. And so students just are responsible for talking about the book and talking about important topics regarding the book. So it's a very nice opportunity. And the Google code is there. Again, this will be posted. So there's a classroom code for that particular club. It's called We Be Bookin', and it's a nice opportunity for students to earn some service hours as well.
That's just our last piece. We were emailed it yesterday. That's an opportunity for students to sign up our school for another community service opportunity too. Thank you, Ms. Wooden, for going over that. Like Ms. Wooden said, all of these are listed, all these opportunities are listed on our website. The link is in there. This presentation will be posted. It takes up to 48 hours school day hours to post. So by the week after spring break, you'll see it posted, this presentation posted on our website. But right now, all of the community service opportunities are up right now. So feel free to go there or have your student go on. And next up, we have Dr. Keller to talk to us about SAT and ACT.
Oh my goodness, it's my turn already. All right. So, good morning, everyone. Let me piggyback a little bit on the community service. And Ms. Havens, no need to adjust the slide. Community service is just a great thing for students to have. And as the college advisor, I just want to chime in as to where that plays a role in the whole college admissions process. So, one, having community service, having up to 100 hours of community service is wonderful because it will allow for full access to the Bright Future Scholarship. It is one of the 4 elements, is 100 hours. So the sooner a student was to be able to accomplish those 100 hours, that box is checked for Bright Future Scholarship. In addition, it's a great way for a student to get involved. The colleges love to see involvement, participation, whether it be through the school or in the community. Not to mention, it is a graduation requirement, so they are taking care of multiple things all at one time. So as the old adage says, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. This is one of those opportunities. So I always promote that students, even as early as freshman year, start getting their community service when they have the time. Oftentimes, summer is a great opportunity. This summer is a little odd because it's so short, but in most cases, they have 10 weeks over the summer. Utilize that time for something productive. Okay, now on to my original topic. All right, so college entrance exams. There's going to be 2 that you are very familiar with, the SAT and ACT. What I need to mention first and foremost is the 2 are brother and sister. One is as good as the other. Palm Beach County has alignment with the SAT, so you're going to hear a lot more about SAT through Palm Beach County. So you'll hear about the SAT, the PSAT, as opposed to the ACT and pre-ACT. You're not going to hear as much of that, but the 2 are equivalent tests. So whichever one suits you, that's the one you should emphasize taking. Okay, so basically the college entrance exam that is the SAT has 3 sections. It has a reading, a writing, and a math section. It used to have an essay section, but no longer. Okay, maximum score is 800 in each section. So the writing and reading are combined into one section. That section has a total score of 800. Math has a standalone score of 800. The 2 scores come together, which would equal the 1600. So if you hear people talking about, oh, my student got a 1300, a 1200, a 1500, that's how. Combination of both 800 scores. And it's administered through the collegeboard.org. So PSAT. PSAT, the P stands for preliminary. So it's a preliminary SAT. You can use it as practice SAT, however you want to think about it. It's really just the warm-up for the real SAT. It is wonderful practice. Okay, they took that in October. This year, again, was funny. They offered it numerous times, but typically 10th graders will have an opportunity to take it in October. Okay, their scores arrived in December, and they should know their scores. That gives them a good basis for what they would score if it was a live SAT. That score is supposed to mimic this score. So wonderful indication for where they are. Okay. The school day SATs, if you have a junior, then your junior had an opportunity on March 3rd, just 9 days ago, to take the school day SAT. Those scores are upcoming, and once they have those scores, they will know for certain where they're at. I also recommend that once they have those scores, whatever colleges they think that they want to go to, their baby list, if you will, as far as college lists go, that they start to look at what the admissions criteria is for those schools and then try to place themselves accordingly. And then juniors should plan to take the ACT or ACT the spring of their junior year. That is always recommended, and that's why we offer the school day SAT the back half of junior year. But that is really when you want to emphasize taking the SAT or the ACT, because college is really just a couple of months away from that application cycle. All right, so when they took the PSAT, they were provided a code. They want to keep that code because that's how they get personalized information. So College Board will offer them feedback based on their score as long as they can log in and provide that code. That is so important because this feedback is free. You can always go and sign up with tutors, organizations that will help tutor you at a cost. And College Board will offer that service for free. They utilize Khan Academy, which is a wonderful free resource that's available to the students online. And it will give them that personal feedback so that they are having deliberate practice, deliberate tutoring, instead of looking through that, 2,000-page SAT or ACT prep book. This way they know exactly where their strengths are and where they could use some improvement. And so spending their time on doing that with a kind of a personal feel will usually reap rewards. Khan Academy says, because Khan Academy has a partnership with College Board, they say that if you have 20 hours of prep, on average, your scores will go up 100 points. 20 hours is a long time to prep, but still 100 points is a huge jump. I know personally students who have jumped as much as 200 points with 20 hours of prep. 200 points is a game changer. Okay, now on to the ACT. As you will notice, the first bullet point shows that there is one section that is distinctly different. There is a science section, a standalone science section with the ACT, in addition to the verbal, math, and reading. Not to say that the SAT doesn't have science, but the science questions are packaged within both the math and the English section of the SAT. In the ACT, they flush that out and give it its own section. The maximum score is only a 36, so anywhere from a 1 to a 36, and ACT.org is the governing body. Okay, so this is the big question that I receive all the time. What is the difference between the two exams? And for the most part, the easy answer to that question is nothing, because they are basically teaching the same material. They are so close to being the same exam now that there's not many differences. The majority of the differences are going to be structure and delivery, but the content itself is very, very similar. So as you can see, the ACT is slightly shorter, coming in at 2 hours and 55 minutes as opposed to the 3 full hours that the SAT has. Again, the structure, notice the science reasoning with the ACT, and that is not a thing with the SAT. On the ACT, there are 2 calculator sections, both of which the student can use, or math sections, sorry, 2 math sections, both of which the student can use a calculator. The SAT does have a short no calculator section. Okay, in both exams, all questions can be answered without a calculator, but sometimes students have comfort by having that calculator in their hand. And the ACT offers less time per question. So the ACT is traditionally a faster exam, although the overall time of the exams are the same, essentially 5 minutes difference, that each section, so the ACT per section will have more questions, which means you have less time per question. When the SAT typically has less questions, but offers you more time. So if your student is a fast test taker, they're probably better geared for the ACT. If there's someone who finishes their test exactly at the time is called, then they may be better structured for the SAT. What I suggest is that you take a practice exam. You can find practice exams online through ACT's website, and College Board offers the same through Khan Academy. Take a practice test and find out where your student's comfort level is, because that's really going to guide them as to which test is better suited for them. As we continue down the bullets, the ACT is scored 1 through 36. The SAT is scored 400 to 1600. And they're both administered 7 times annually. And the SAT is also offered 1 additional time as a school day SAT here at school. And it ranges anywhere from August through June or July of that same school year. Mind you, it is only offered during the school year. These exams are not offered during the summer. So when I say 7 times annually, that is throughout the school year, when the school year starts to when the school year ends, typically. There may be one that dips into the summer, but just ever so slightly. All right, and that's really the difference between the ACT and SAT. And I believe that wraps it up for me today. I will be monitoring the chat if you do have some questions. And thank you for your time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Dr. Keller. It was short and sweet today. We went over some of the community service opportunities. Again, those are all online. Never too early to get started. So please make sure to talk to your sons or daughters about that. And lots of SAT and ACT information. If you have any questions at this time, feel free. There's just a couple questions in there that we answered in the chat bar. But if you have any more questions, feel free to type it in. It's kind of quiet, so if you want to unmute yourself, you are welcome to. And we'll be monitoring the chat bar and answering out loud as well. If you don't have any questions, feel free to log off. I'm going to stop recording now, but again, I'll list this. The presentation will be posted, this recording will be posted, and I post a question and answer section, so all the chat bar questions and answers will be posted. So if you forget something or somebody asks you how do they see it, all of that's on our website under school info, school counseling services, coffee with the counselors.